Welcome to the Weekly. I am Scott Ethers from the Healing Place in Shreveport, Louisiana. We want to thank you guys for tuning in. Now, we are doing this Facebook Live again instead of our regular just YouTube version. So if we cut out, if we have any issues, stay on. We'll be right back with you as soon as we can get to it. We want to make sure, sometimes in this room we have some issues, so we want to make sure that we stay on top of this. So stay with us. Hey, last week on the Weekly, we kind of left you with this thought of being uncomfortable in situations, maybe relationships, whatever that may be. So this week, I want to follow up on that a little bit with this thought called the cleanup. Now, as you can see, I'm in the sanctuary here at the Healing Place, this wide expanse. Well, not too long ago, this room was filled with about 500 people. There were about 500 people from our neighborhood in this building. I mean, this room was packed from the front to the back. And as you know, when you have that many people in one place at one time, you're going to find all kinds of things when those people leave. Well, we do these things every single year for our local community, for our school, our local school, Southern Hills Elementary. And we come together, man, we love on people. We have a serve team that's here that serves and just loves on people. We have a great time. They have a kindergarten graduation and just all kinds of things go on. But when they leave, there is a cleanup that has to take place. Now, in our lives, a lot of times with the relationships, we don't like the cleanup. And so instead of digging deeper into that relationship, making ourselves uncomfortable like we talked about last week, we kind of step back and isolate ourselves because we don't want to have to deal with the cleanup. You know, today this room was filled, and it was filled with love, and it was filled with people, but it was also filled with trash as well. And some people would go, oh, you know, they shouldn't have to do that. Well, you know, people are just going to do that. That's just the way it's going to happen. And what we feel is we're going to welcome them into this place. We're going to pack this place out. We're going to tell them how much we love them. We're going to show them how much we love them. And we are so appreciative of our school. We're so appreciative of Principal Scott at Southern Hills Elementary, who gets on this platform and talks about God and talks about this place and talks about these people and talks about our relationship, our friendship, our personal friendship that he and I have. And so in the midst of this, when all those 500 people began to walk out, what happened? We began the cleanup. And so we had a crew from Teen Challenge, and we appreciate those guys so much, who came in and began to help us move chairs back. And as we were moving chairs back, we started to find candy wrappers, and we started to find all these different things. And some people would go, well, that's a hassle. Well, it's really not. It's just a matter of cleaning up. And so we did the cleanup. And in the cleanup, even there was a time of incredible ministry and opportunity, because in the cleanup, Teen Challenge was praying in this very room as they were cleaning up. They were praying in this room and declaring blessing over this house in the cleanup. You know, I want to encourage you this week, in your relationships, invest in those relationships. Look, relationships, humanity is so imperfect. We all are. And when you deal with humanity and when you deal with imperfect people, you're going to have a cleanup that needs to take place. Be willing to invest that time. Here's the ultimate lesson on the cleanup. Jesus Christ came to this earth and He gave His life. And man, He lived among us and He dwelt among His people and He taught and He healed people and He hung out with people and He spoke life into people and He had good days and He had bad days and He lived in human flesh just like we do every single day. But He gave His life for every single person on this earth. He gave His life to redeem us from we're back. The power of sin and death. Jesus Christ gave His life to defeat the power of sin and death over our lives. He had to do the cleanup. And in all of our lives, we come to Christ and we say, Lord, forgive us of this and this and this. And guess what? That involves cleanup. You know, when we spend personal time with God, there's some cleanup that He does in our lives. When we spend personal time with people as we're trying to invest in their lives, there's going to be a cleanup that we're going to have to do. So I'm going to encourage you this week. Maybe there's somebody in your life, and maybe, man, you've just been struggling through trying to just speak into their lives. Go the extra mile. Go the extra mile this week. Don't worry about the cleanup. You know, it's going to be messy sometimes. Step into that role. Step into that role of not just saying, hey, here I am, but hey, I'm going to be here when everything is falling apart. I'm here. I may not have all the words to say, but I'm here for the cleanup. Because sometimes the best friend you'll ever have is not somebody who has all the answers, but simply somebody who's just there. So be that person this week. Just be there for someone. Let God use you. Let Him use your gifts. Let Him use your talents and your abilities to speak life into somebody. Because I promise you, if you do that, and you do that over and over, especially those who do not know Christ, man, they will see Him in you, and they will say, hey, what must I do to have what you have? Man, there's an opportunity waiting for you. So, God bless you guys. Hey, thanks for tuning in, and please like us. Do like, subscribe on YouTube. Check us out on Facebook. We're doing a lot more of these things, so just keep up with us. Find out what we're doing. We're on all social media platforms. But we appreciate you guys, and thank you so much for tuning in to the Weekly, and we will see you next week.